Hey people. Now, I know everyone's wondering. You're driving down the street in Melbourne, and you come up to what I call a checkpoint. They call it booze buses, but it's not really. Anyway, there is no, under the Commonwealth Constitution, there is no law to say that they can do that lawfully. If anyone wants to touch you or search you, they have to have a warrant. Take your breath, that's a DNA sample, that has to go through the courts. Take your blood, that's a DNA sample, that has to go through the courts. It's against your human rights under the Commonwealth Constitution. Now, if anyone of any sort wants to come up and touch you, you can get them done for assault if there's no probable cause. And that's not just in America, it's in Australia. This is where I live, in Australia. England, everywhere. But what the police are making you believe is that they can do whatever they want. Because they're meant to be public servants, but they think they're law enforcement officers, but they're not. The government enforces the law. The police are there to keep the peace, not to enforce the law. The Metropolitan Police was started up to police metropolitan areas, not police individual people. You know, the constabulary was always set up so they keep order in society, not to enforce the law like they do now. I mean, everywhere you go, you see these people bowing down to them. Like in Melbourne now, right, they have these, what they call fast action squads or fast reaction teams or whatever they call them. They run around all these nightclubs, randomly searching anyone, dogs, sniffer dogs and everything. Totally illegal. Because you're out on your free time and the inconvenience of 6 policemen standing around you telling you what to do. No policeman can tell you what to do. Even under arrest, they can't tell you what to do. Even if they say that you have to yield to their orders, no, you don't. This is not Nazi Germany. Last time I heard, we lived in a democracy where every single person has certain rights. And those are certain rights that you have inalienable to yourself. It's a birthright. People don't seem to understand this. People just seem it's okay to just let them do whatever they want. I mean, in Australia, they keep talking about, oh, it's to stop drink driving. Well, they can't stop drink driving if they've stopped in one spot, can they? Do you think one person who's drink driving sees a booze bus 100 yards down the road, do you think he's going to go through it? Of course he's not. It's not about catching drink drivers. It's about conditioning you to think that that's all right for them to do that. That's exactly what it's about. So when you consider all these people doing this, all these policemen making up their own rules as they go along, here's a scenario, okay? I'll tell you, this is actual fact. I can get my wife and she can show you this, right? One morning, about 3 o'clock in the morning, I was in bed, right? Just sleeping, and something woke me up. All these flashlights come through the window, and there was a police car outside. And my car, it's not the best of cars, it's messy and all of this. But anyway, they knock on my door and they go, oh, we've caught a criminal. And I was like, what? What's that got to do with me? And it says, yeah, we caught a criminal and looks like he tried to break into your car. So I'm like, did he? Right, I'll go out there. And I looked at my car and said, what are you talking about? My car's always like that. And they go, oh, can we go in your garden to have a look? If there's a bag, he goes, a bag. I said, no, you can't. I said, you're going to need a warrant to do that. And they looked at, and they didn't know what to do. They didn't expect me to say no. They expected to say, yeah, of course, just go and Help me, I'm your slave, yeah. No, I said no. And there was 3 of them. There was a sergeant and 2 constables. And they didn't know what to do. They did not know what to do. They were looking at the sergeant was looking at the constables and were like, this isn't the procedure. He's meant to bow down to us. He's meant to be our servant, you know. But no, you have to stand up. You have to. You have to stand up and exercise your rights. Because if you don't, they'll be taken away. So at the end of the day, that was a true story. And it's amazing how they can just turn up whenever they want, in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, doesn't matter when. As I say, it's all a form of conditioning. Because I'm telling you now, once this all comes in, the main police grid, which they're doing now, everyone will just think, oh, it's just the norm. You know, it's just to stop drink driving. You haven't been drinking? What are they stopping you for? So when you think about this, and think about it carefully, because it means it might help you next time you get stopped by a policeman and breathalyzed. Exercise your rights and say no. But be courteous about it and say, no ma'am, or no officer, or whatever you've got to say. Don't lick their asses, but just say, I'm not prepared to do that. Or what you need to say is, I don't consent. Because they don't know how to answer that. Because that's not in their, it's not in their book of rules. They already know how to give orders. It's like going to a foreign country, right? This is a good analogy. It's going to a foreign country and asking for something in French, but not expecting the answer. You go, I don't know what to say. I know how to ask, but I don't know how to answer. This is how these police act. This is how the police work. They know how to set the rules out and tell you what is good and what isn't, and tell you what you can and can't do. But once you stand up and say, hang on a minute, I can do that. That's against the law for you to say I can't do that. They go, I don't know what to do. Serious, try it. So I tell you, it works.